Hey guys, today we're going to talk about main idea, how you determine the main idea, and then how you support it with details from what you're reading. So you should have read the first half of The Boy Who Fought Hitler, and I'm going to practice with the section titled Hateful Lies. Then you're going to practice with the Nazi invasion section. So on the hateful lies, I know that I need to include something. I need to understand and see if I can include something about the lies in my main idea. Otherwise, the author wouldn't have used that as a subheading. Secondly, I also need to not just find the main idea, which is more of a higher level. What was the main point of this section? And then I need to find some details that support that main idea. So when I look at, and I'm going to do a little note, and my title is Hateful Lies. And if I go to the first paragraph, this is where Ben's story takes a sharp turn into one of the most evil chapters in history, the Holocaust. So I probably, because it's part of the beginning paragraph, the introductory paragraph of this section, I need to include the topic of the Holocaust because that's important, right? And then I'm going to look for things to include. So as I went through this, I know that I need to talk about the lies about the Jews. I know that I need to include information about the Holocaust, and now I'm looking for some other things. Now, I've already kind of looked through this, but I think that the name Adolf Hitler is going to be important for this because he was one of the most significant people leading the Holocaust. So things to include, I'm going to include Adolf Hitler. And I'm just getting that from the second paragraph. Germany's leader, a man named Adolf Hitler. Hitler rose to power in Germany during a time when the country was struggling because they'd just been defeated in World War I. I don't know that I have to include that in my main idea. That's kind of a smaller portion. Jewish people lived in Germany and all over Europe at that time. I don't know that that's important to include. It's the next paragraph. I'm going to now bring over this next part, but it's not letting me scroll up. If I were able to scroll up, which I'm having some technical difficulties, I would move on to a paragraph that is going to talk about how Adolf Hitler gave speeches and talked very poorly about the Jews. And so I think that that's important to include, and I'm going to include that he gave speeches against Jews. And I also think it's important that there was violence against the Jews. So these are the key parts, I think, of this section. And I'm sorry I wasn't able to scroll up to show you. But the title's Hateful Lies. My topic is going to be about the Holocaust. Names or words, keywords that I need to include in my main idea are Adolf Hitler giving speeches against Jews and violence. I could also use the word prejudice. So I'm going to take this information, I'm going to create my main idea. After World War I, Adolf, LPH, Hitler, spoke out against Jews, which led to violence and hatred. Violence and hatred are somewhat similar. I need to include the Holocaust, which led to violence and the beginning, forgot my G, of the Holocaust. So it's high level. It's what most of this section is about. Adolf Hitler speaking out against the Jews, violence against them, and the beginning of the Holocaust. I didn't include the word lie. I'm kind of implying that with speaking out against them. I didn't have to start with World War I after World War I at the beginning of my sentence. I'm just including that. So that's how I would include my main idea. But now I have to have supporting detail. And when I read this, there was a part that said he gave speeches with lies about Jews. And it's at the top, and I'm not able to show it to you right this minute, but I would say that Hitler, I am at my limit of words, so I'm going to save that box. And I'm going to do a new box. Sorry about that. So supporting detail 1. I would say that Hitler gave speeches spreading lies against the Jews. And that came from a paragraph in this section. Supporting detail 2. There was a detail that really hung my heart, and it was that by 1945, 6 million Jews, and I'm capitalizing Jews because it's a population, Jews, and it's a religion if you didn't know that, Jews would be dead. And not dead. So these would be 2 supporting details. So I'm going to say that. So I'm going to go to the first box. I came up with the title of my heading, the topic, and some keywords I wanted to include. And I came up with my main idea. After World War I, Adolf Hitler spoke out against Jews, which led to violence in the beginning of the Holocaust. Then I went to my supporting detail. First one, Hitler gave speeches spreading lies against the Jews. Second one was by 1945, 6 million Jews would be dead. So those are 2 examples of how I'm going to support my main idea. So now it's your turn. You're actually going to be rereading the Nazi invasion portion of this, and you're going, oh, now it lets me scroll up. That's okay. This is where you're going to come up with your main idea of the Nazi invasion section and 2 supporting detail, and try my tactic of looking at the heading, looking at the introductory paragraph, looking for keywords that you want to include in your main idea, and then you need to find 2, I started to do this, 2 supporting detail to support your main idea. All right, let me know if you have any questions or need anything. Looking forward to seeing what you guys create.